all alone, confessing while alone and on, without a clue, without a sign, without grasping it. The real question to be asked: where have I been? I'm a shapeshifter at Post Masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter. What else should I be? Please don't take off my mask, revealing dark. Moments of calm, nothing left to be found. A mirror right in front of me, that's where I found an empty glass, reflecting that's a truth. It's telling words not to be told. I need that mask. I'm a shapeshifter at Post Masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, chained down to my core. Please don't take off my mask, my place to hide. I can't tell you how to see me, just a cage of bones. There's nothing inside. Will it unleash me, burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a shapeshifter at Post Masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, have no face to show. Please don't take off my mask, my disguise.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Daemonum, that shining beacon of light in the heart of the underworld and city to free demons, and welcome to another episode of the stream here in Daemonum Arena. So, it has been a little while, and part of that is honestly because it was a holiday weekend and I felt like taking a holiday. Also, it was SGDQ, and boy howdy did I take to that with aplomb. I watched a lot of that stream over the past few days, and having a 4-day weekend definitely helped out a fair bit. So, all things considered, I figured easing back into things with some more art would probably be a good idea. So, yeah, that is what I'm going to focus on today. That having been said, boy howdy, the UVing process for this thing, it's just an experience. Let's just put it that way. I found something that I'm not sure what to do with because I think it's a messed up set of faces, so I might just delete them. But I don't know for certain. Looks like there's like an inner lip to one of the handles, and I think it's messing with the UV, basically. So let me just get everything else up and in running order, and we should be good to go. Let's have some chill music in the background. And I'm probably going to try to zen out and not Barbarian Rage to UVing. See how that goes. To my benefit, I do have some tea by my side, so that should hopefully help out. All things considered, though, I think that's pretty much everything I need to do to get ready to continue work, so here we go. And like the entire reason that I saw this is because I zoomed in on the UV and just the tiniest, ittiest little bit right here. I was like, wait a minute. There's something there. Because I noticed that one of the handles, the UV kind of goes wonky. And now I'm also beginning to wonder if that's not also causing some wonkiness on the other handles too. Because to be fair, these things underneath them are the other handles. That did not unwrap the way I thought it was going to. It looks like it's still connected somewhere where I want to put a seam. At least I think that's how it would work. I hope that's how it would work. So I need to like look at the other handle pieces too and figure out, because otherwise if you look at this handle in particular, like, okay, something is definitely wrong with this UV because, well, look at that. You know, in between these two faces, the pattern is messed up because it's not connecting. Well, that's because of, ta-da, this lip in the middle here. I'm not sure where it came from or how it got there. So yeah, I honestly think that like one of the things I had to do is get rid of these faces. I'm hoping that's the correct move. No, yes, yes, no. No, yes, yes, no, yes. Yes. Delete faces. Otherwise, I think that looks right. But I do think looking into one of the other handles might also like shed some light on something, maybe. Hmm. Go ahead and look at this. What happens if I project from view? Nothing changes. Why? Also, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that like the blade element of this is way out of whack. Right, because I didn't select all. That's why. Select all. Aha. Aha. Now, interesting thing is that the middle handle is acting exactly as I want it to, and the other two aren't. Oh, that honestly looks really pretty though, not gonna lie. Like, ooh, that fixed that. Because I want the other two handles to look like the middle handle here. So what did I do? What did I do to this that I didn't do to them? By the looks of it, it's the same thing. Like, they're seamed around the outer edges of the handles, and then they're seamed along the top. So why is this having so much trouble with that? That's the question. Huh. Well, interesting. Go ahead and go to this. Don't need to look at the material presently. I need to like, I feel like a part of this has something to do with my seams. Part of it, not all of it, but part of it. Especially for the blade itself having some wonky UVing going on. Boy, howdy, do I wish this was less messed up. We need to go back to edge selection mode. If I select that, then we get, yeah, a new seam. Tag that. Start seeing some more rework here. Yeah, live on rip, okay. Definitely changing the shape of my UV. Not sure if it's for the better or not, but hey, it's what we're here to try. Whoa. That's entirely not the way to do that. There you go. My basic idea is that I want to effectively split this in half. At that point, I have effectively done so. But now, oh boy, does this look wild. That's not what I'm expecting shape-wise at all. At all. Because, like, from the look of it, you would expect it to, you know, you'd expect the UV plane to look kind of like this without the handles in place. Because the handles are being handled outside of it. So why is it doing this weirdness? That's a good question. I am confused. Huh. I'm confused. It's like, where is this not separating? Wait. Wait a minute. I have an idea. Be afraid, be very afraid. Incremental this, though. I have made some progress, just not all of it. What if... Bear with me. What has that done to my UVs? It's definitely changed something. There's something weird connecting things in a place that I'm not seeing. It has to be the case. If I undo these seams... I want to see what this is doing in real time to the UV maps. Yeah, something's getting wonky. That blows up those UVs, something fierce. If I instead define those seams here. Oh. That's interesting. The handles are still doing that weird thing. Huh. Why are you doing that weird distortion? One of those times where I wish I could just like have an interactive camera to look on the inside of the model. Like literally all I need is something that can traverse the inside of this model and look for the faces and such. Where is this? Show me this. It's that. Why is that having such a problem? And showing is interconnected despite the fact there's a seam right there. Also, like, what is this? It's all bunching up over here. Why? An extension, that's going to be bunching up on the other end. Where are you and what are you? Oh, I kind of see you. Uh-huh. That's not what you look like. Why are you having issues?
C'est magnifique.
I didn't know my sub
Ah.
ran out. Resubscribed.
Hey sis, welcome on in. Hope you finds you well. Ah, 2 monitors now. Been checking for you the last few nights. Yeah, I'm doing art tonight, and I'm trying to figure out why something is being particularly weird. And I think I might have found out what may potentially be going on. like to be able to zoom in more, but they're not gonna let me. Where are these vertices and what are they doing? You're connected to something more than you should be. So, just to explain my reasoning here. You see how on this one particular square, there are 4 dots? But over here, this is what that square is supposed to be, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. So for some reason, it's double connecting to something somewhere, and I'm not sure what it is. Excited to be here. When's the next collab? I mean, when stars align, honestly. Kurrigan's been having a rough time with things of late, so I've been leaving it be. That has something to do with the extrusions that I did, actually. Absolutely, I can let him know. And yeah, I'm hoping it goes well for him too. So, like, where are these vertices? Where are these vertices? That's where that one is. So that's a real one. The other one's going to be there. And then there's going to be you in the back and you in the back. So the real question is, where, you know, there's an easier way for me to do this. Head, face. Where's this face? Wait a minute. Huh? It's selecting a face, but I don't see a face there, do you? That's bizarre. That's that. That's the one next to it. That's his neighbor. That's the side. That's this side. So what the flying spaghetti monster are you? There's something extra here. Oh my god. What are you? What are you, you little... It's like the 3D modeling equivalent of an appendix. What are you? Where did you come from? What are your life ambitions? What are you doing here? And can I just... Huh. Is there... Delete faces. Now that I've done that, what happens? Huh. Also, imagine your brother is doing something creative. Oh? Oh ho? What's this? That's behaving exactly as I want it to now. That's why there was a problem. There's extra faces in here somewhere. which would mean, oh, I bet that's the same problem that's happening elsewhere in the model, and it's causing weird problems like this. Okay. But now see how like the squares actually look kind of decently put together on that handle as opposed to what they looked like before? Because like if I undo what I did there, it looks really weird. Like everything kind of curves and bends and warps. But if I redo that, now I have perfect squares. Or not perfect, but I have squares. And they look better than they did before. Oh goodness, that is a broad question for Daemonum lore, by the way. Sorry I didn't catch that immediately. So broad view. Daemonum is both the name of a realm and the name of a city. Kind of similar to how in Dungeons and Dragons you have Dis and Dispater in the Nine Hells, where, you know, one is the land and one is the city. In chat, tell me it is. I mean, it's fair. But effectively, yeah, like the name is both a realm and a city. And the realm is the realm of demons, devils, like infernal creatures. Hey, Mandy, welcome on in. Hope the evening finds you well. Whereas the city is the city of free demons that is looked after by the hunters and the king. The basic idea being that there are bad demons that want to consume and destroy, but there are also good demons that are perfectly fine with getting just what they need to get by, as opposed to greedily hoarding resources and destroying everything they come across. We are in Daemonum City, in Daemonum Arena, where I apply these streams. Doing some last screenshots of Minecraft. Yeah, I wasn't able to join in with folks because I was getting ready for this, but I hope that things are going all right. But yes, as I was saying, we are here in Daemonum Arena, where I do the streams. The arena is typically used for, you know, training hunter recruits, but in their off time, they let me use it to run the streams. So here we are. Much appreciated. If y'all are in a voice chat, you should totally let Zach know that I found some weird stuff. I like to think that it's pretty cool. I like to hope that it's pretty cool. There's a lot that I have. There's a lot that I have available that I don't like get into because, well, I don't really have the opportunity to gush about it all that much. I'm gonna bet that you are there. Yeah. Yeah, I found weird stuff in the model. I'm staring right at some right now. I was wondering why when I was like doing the render of the UV that, for example, this handle doesn't break into like a tube shape. It kind of breaks into like a wedge shape. And I found out the reason is there's some extra junk in here that's connecting the ends in such a fashion that it can't properly cut the UVs apart. It's so freaking weird. Because you, like, when I'm selecting these faces, you can't see them. Like, they are so minuscule that you just cannot see them in this model at all. But they're there. But then if I delete these faces and just quickly like get it to update the UVs. Ta-da! It pops them up. And now my handles are behaving like I need them to. So then if something is not behaving the way I expect it to, I should look at that problem area and see what I can find. Because when I made this seam around the entirety of this blade, you would expect that what would happen is that you would see two copies of this UV. Yeah. So remember back when I was doing the UVs of the handles, they kind of had this like curvy wedge shape instead of what they are now. It's because at the outside edges of these two handles, if I can just get inside the model for a little bit, the inside edges of the models, basically at this face and the tube around it, there was an extra set of faces that were just so microscopic you couldn't actually see them. And so it caused the UV to act really weird when I defined my seam, because the seam didn't include the faces it couldn't include because I could never select them. Coplanar faces. Okay. Now I have a term for it. Sweet. Looks like I saw. Yeah, now I need to figure that out over here though, because I think that's the same thing that's happening here. I'm pretty sure these are not supposed to be connected like this. So something weird's going on. And considering the sheer amount of stuff that's related to in this model, oh boy. You know, that said though, but it, so the seam is defined both at the top and the bottom of this object. Select by UV shell. Are they connected still or just overlapping? By island, I think they call it in this case. I select the island. Yeah, it selects the whole thing. So it seems to suggest that they are connected together. At present, I've also got it set up so anytime I change a seam, it automatically redoes the unwrap. There's an option under this UV's live unwrap. Yeah, it's a very neat feature. Honestly, maybe if I don't know. Would more seams really do it? I don't think it would. It might. Maybe I need to seam the inside of the circle more. Come to think of it, I could probably also redo the seam along the spine too. Like, I don't think not a bad idea. You can always unseam. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you've got a valid persuasive argument. I can always undo the seams later. It doesn't matter. It's not a decision that I'm going to be married to. I also presently found another fun thing with the decision process with picking shortest path with the keyboard shortcuts, you can change it from select to tag a whole bunch of things. And tag seam just means, you know, the second I click to make a shortest path, it makes that short path the seam. I need to do this so I can see the UV reforming in real time, hopefully. Huh. Now I've got a gaping hole in the middle of that connection point, which I thank you. Here. Huh. Yeah, this is still connected for some reason. Why does the seam cut in from the perimeter? Inside circle and not just continue the whole perimeter. Originally I thought that might have been what was causing my problem with the handles, but with that in mind, now that I've fixed that other issue, I could probably redo the seam. Like, ooh, that changed how that UV behaves. It's a little weirder now. I'm also hoping that order of defining seams doesn't matter. Oof. Suddenly made those UVs look weirder. Suppose it probably would, wouldn't it? With that, I could probably just... There is an argument to be made that sometimes too much seams is a bad thing. The handles can now just remain interconnected by that top bit instead of being defined down here. That keeps the handles all sane, but there's still weirdness with the blade. I'm not sure how to keep... I'm not sure where it's going weird. A lot of stuff is like overlapped and doing weird stuff. Otherwise, if the question is about like that edge being a seam, it's particularly to define the handles. I might have to do something different for that. I'm not sure. But now the handles seem to be working perfectly fine. I just need to figure out what's wrong with the blade. predominantly the middle, which tracks considering look at it. So what's going on here that's causing this? The handle to find the blade seam is kind of Mobiusing around the model. More seams will help it flatten out. Blade seems Mobiusing around the model. Yeah. That is kind of what it's looking like. Like somehow there's some connection point in here that I'm not finding, and it's like twisting the model in on itself. Which makes me wonder if there isn't some more of those missing face things that I need to find and get rid of. For example, look at that. What is that? What's that back face? Oh. That's looking more like what we want it to look like. That's cool. Mm-hmm. The problem is the center. Gee, that's a sentence that could be meant multiple ways. What did you do? And how did you do it? How did you do this? How did you come to this conclusion? Because that's a part of this. That's a part of this puzzle. This is coming to a conclusion that something's connected somewhere in a fashion. Hello? Hold on. What are you? You are suspicious. Huh. What are you? These edges in particular look a little wonky. Do we have more invisible faces? Yeah. It seems like that's where the what was that term again? Coplanar faces came from. It's like the outermost edges are these. What are these middle ones? And by what I mean where. Also, diving on the inside of the model is kind of fun in its own right. The lead edges can always be undone. But now that I've done that, at least at this spot, if I do another unwrap, would not solve any islands. Edge seems may need to be added. Or oh, something shifted. Oh yeah, something changed. It split that midpoint out. Yeah, it split a chunk out. It's free. I think that's a good sign. But from what I can tell, yeah, it's like when we extruded the handles, we added some extra clunk, and that extra clunk is now causing problems in the UVing. So I need to find those nigh invisible pieces of clunk and get rid of them. It seems to be what my present goal is. You apply seams from the UV window. I don't know actually. Doesn't look like I can. Or no. It should be in here, yeah, mark seam. Oh ho. And it is at those spots too. Basically, anytime I see this sort of look, that's where my mind is immediately going like, hang on, something's suspicious about how that's looking. Of course, the other question is, do I want to be seaming those invisible edges, or do I want to be deleting those invisible edges? Because now I've got that going on. Make looks like the vertices you can merge by distance. You should clean them up pretty well. That. Did I do that in the UV window? Merge by distance? What did that do and how did it do it? Suppose. Zoom out a skosh. Select all. Unwrap. That did not change a thing. Oh wait, it's go vertex by vertex. Duh. It's go by vertex pair, not by lines. Merge by distance. Otherwise, it does weird shit. I'm remembering. I'd like to merge all of the same point. Yeah. So I do this. Merge by distance. And then select all. just brought it back. The hell? Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Is that... That's the thing, yeah. But if I'm... Hold on. Maybe... Merge vertices by distance. Because the selection carries over. I hope. Something weird's going on, but we'll find out, I guess. Try this again. Aha. J'accuse. That is it. It's crud from extruding the handles. Now that I know the source, it's kind of easier to find to some degree. Like right here, for example. And I do this, right click, merge vertices by distance. What am I doing? Nope. Do that. That's not where another one of those lies. Select all. See if I can find where there's another overlap. Found you. This one has 3 or more. Oh dear. Ooh. Where are you? Aha. You're that section, huh? Only ever merged 2 vertices together. I surmise you can merge 3. I would think that it should be fine to just do this. But it might not. Find out as we go, I suppose. Looks weird until you finish it, I wager. I'm hoping. Select all UV unwrap. Okay. We're getting somewhere. That's an interesting shape. But now it looks like I don't see anything that suggests like overlap or weirdness like that. Glue the one side back together. Glue the one side back together. Huh. There seem. Oh. That'll do it, huh? That'll clear that seam. And clear that seam. Huh. That's looking more like the batleth I know and remember. Huh. Would it be the end of the world if I... Yeah, that one's squished. Not sure why. Select all, unwrap. It remains le squish. Why are you squish? Why are you squinch? Oh. Is this a mistake? This might be a mistake. Kind of looking like a mistake. It's seeming like a bit of a mistake. Maybe. All else fails, I can put it right back. Yeah, that seems like a mistake. If the opposite solution are putting seam on. Oh, clever. This is like just my experience in life in general. I'm like 65% clever, 35%. What the fuck were you thinking? Gonna lead to a barrel, isn't it? setting myself up for something here, aren't I? Dump. Uh-huh. Right now, one side gets the interface ring, the other doesn't, so they unwrap different. Gotcha. This will mean, though, that there's going to be, like, these new, strips. The inside faces here are going to be a strip of their own. Which, not the end of the world. Add an edge loop in the middle of that face ring and seam in the middle. I could do that. Goodness me, sorry. We'll see what it looks like one way, and then I can do the work the other way if I want to. I've already been working on this model for as long as I have. Working on it for a little bit longer isn't going to kill me. At least I don't think so. It might be up to something, you never know. This model has plans. World domination. I'm getting in its way. Christ, don't ask where my brain's going with this shit. I don't even know. The reason I'm defining those the way I am is because I feel like the shortest route isn't gonna do it in one smooth motion. If I go shortest route, it's gonna go along the top instead of around the bottom. So like that, and now they are equal sized. So yeah, that was that. Now I'm wondering where these are. Where are you? Oh ho. Oh yeah, there they are. Strips just right there. And they're actually pretty decently done too. Kinda like that. Yeah, this is just those three strips. I mean, really, I could just... I don't think it's necessarily the end of the world that those strips are there. It does make texturing a little bit weird. Huh. Yeah. Not even onion rings. They're just little bacon strips right next to the handles here. Bacon. Because yeah, if I just select all for a split second here, and then I do island select, it's just these. These three strips right here are those bands that are made by defining the seam on either end. I'll tell you right now, this UV map is a lot better than the first run. Because, I mean, all things considered, this looks pretty sexy compared to where it was before. I do have to remember those tricks about merging vertices, though. That is something I need to keep in the back of my mind for that whole big toolkit. I very much appreciate you reminding me about that. So for those of you lurking in the background, am I going to be making 3D furry models anytime soon? Fuck no. But hey, I mean, take a look at this Bat'leth. Looks pretty freaking good, doesn't it? For the glory of the Empire, for the glory of the Klingon Empire, look at this Bat'leth. Trying to see if Sakura is on right now. I don't know that she is. Doesn't look like she is. She may be busy doing other stuff at the moment, but I kind of want to show it off a little bit for her. It's not too shabby. And now I have learned a few more tricks and I've gotten like a little more practice. And you know, it's funny, all the times that I've listened to every single one of my artist friends say that in order to get better at art, you just practice at it. Like, here I am. Of course, I'm not practicing as much as I should be to get like big results, considering I do art like once a week, if that. Artists, to do their trade, they practice a lot more and a lot more frequently than that. But this is really cool. I kind of like just noodling around in Blender and seeing what I can do. So, you know, after that joke earlier, maybe someday there will come a day where I do, in fact, make furry models. Don't keep your eyes peeled for a commission queue or anything, just saying. But, you know, the day may arrive. Maybe. That even said, there's another map type that they allow you to make here too. The color grid. I wonder what that looks like. Oh. Right. We'll name this color checker. And then what I can do is over here in the material, I can open that and we can see it on the model. I'm gonna guess if I flip this around the other way, I'm gonna see more orange. Called it. So that shows you. That's pretty cool. That shows you where the I wish I'd known about these tools a little earlier, but hey, that's on me for not doing research. So, you know, that's the thing. That is very much on me. It's really cool, though. There's another thing that I saw on one of said things where you can do like a distortion overlay. I don't know how they did it. Is it under... I think it might have been under something else. Under modeling. Huh. Ah. Where did he say that was? Hold on. Uh, hmm. Hold on. Okay, so they say to do that. Uh, Hold up. Go to the overlays menu. Where's the overlays menu? Ah, there it is. Display stretch. And that's what you want to see. There we go. So just grabbing that from her tutorial out of nowhere. This is basically showing how stretched the UVs are, and you want to aim for blue. Well, it's a lot of blue I'm seeing. So, cool. Open. It's like you can tell through the internet that I have shrimped in on myself. Yeah, it is a neat visualizer. I'm kind of glad that I found a tutorial that talked about it. In theory, though, could you apply that alongside? You can. Cool. So you don't have to get rid of whatever you're looking at underneath it. you can just look at it while you're working on other things. That's useful too. Control space, bring back my other workspace. That's good to know. That's reversible too. That's pretty friggin' nifty. Show overlays. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Does it change if I go by area? A little bit, but that's pretty cool. That makes me wonder, actually. Hold on. Let's save incremental because I have been this whole time. I'm curious about something. If I go to one of my other models, because, oh god. Like, let's look at the staff. What's the most recent one? February. Holy shit. I haven't touched this since February? God, where does the time go? Woof. So if I go... you. Oh. Hope I was in the right section. I do this and... huh. You know, all things considered, that's not that bad off. Of course, the UVs themselves are also in like... But I had a very different problem with this model, actually. Like, the staff itself is pretty cool and nifty looking, but the problem that I had with this one was when I brought it into Unity, some of the faces on the mesh were gone for some reason, and I have no idea why. But that's... I may just consider just trying to redo this from the ground up. So, do not save what I have done. Back to the Batleth. All things considered, I think this is a better UV model texture altogether. Good enough that I might actually consider using this to redo what I worked on prior. What does this do? Oh yeah, it tries to make this a little more unusual. It does an interesting job. Not what I would have expected in some areas. And I think kind of, in fact, makes this a bit more dangerous. Yeah. Kinda does things in a weird way. It's like the thing is, oh wait, no, the unwraps do give margins. Yeah, There's margin. There's margin to that. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's a nice step. Average island scale. And then pack islands. Do rotate. Margin is at 0.01. Method is scaled. Just take the strips and move them up, because if you did, that's funny. Mostly, that is effectively what you did, yeah. Huh. Hmm. So that is one thing. That is one thing to point out. The blade itself is a pretty dang long UV. Huh. But that having been said, I don't really see how I could chunk it out more in a way that wasn't going to be kind of glaringly obvious. Like, I could probably split it down the middle, but let's save that there for now. And like, let's do this to see what happens. So if I like select this edge loop and I mark that a seam, then yeah, that does, you know, split the blade up. Hey, does it do it in a way that I like it to? It's like it splits the blade into 4. That does. Hmm. Wait. Seems like one of those things where, like, if I do this way, the reason I would okay, average island scale, back islands, no rotate, scale. Yeah. Like, the reason that I would want to do this, I would almost think that I would then want to overlap UV segments so that they had the same texture going. B5, B6, so that's this. It's on the other side. B1, B2. So if I was going to do that, I would want this and this to be overlapped. Well, this is a shade or two more advanced than the first time we did, but yeah, certainly is. And Zach has helped me out a fair bit. He's taught me some ways to make this a bit less crazy overall. Right now I'm playing with an idea because, well, shockingly enough, I found a tutorial. Like, one of the things he mentioned is avoid long UVs. Well, if I revert, I have some long UVs, which, I don't know. If I split it down the middle, the thing is that, like, the way the map sets up, it seems to have the potential to introduce asymmetrical texturing. Of course, that's also just a matter of, you know, me being good at finding a texture. Those are Long Island's really normal sized faces. I guess the thing that they're particularly worried about is distortion. Is that where their tip went for that? Where were those tips? Their basic statement is that longer UVs are more problematic for packing and baking. Which, I mean, considering I've packed the UVs here, I mean, Cause JPG artifacts. Gotcha. Or mismatch between texel and points. Huh. No, we all start somewhere. Still working as intended. There's one thing that I wish that they would keep when you have sync selection on. I really wish that they would sync it'd allow you to do island selection. But when you turn on the sync selection, it just goes vertex, edge, face. Suppose that's probably because you can't really... Huh. Interesting. The selection situation changes between the two, I suppose. So this is more looking at it from the 3D side, but if you turn off the sync selection, it's going into the UV mode. Of thinking. So it's more two-dimensional. For the sake of it. Do not rotate. That is, as they say, that. From there... how did I do that thing? Oh, hey, Live Unwrap is available in here too. Yep. There, export UV layout. What's the name of that? It would be the Batleth UV PNG. This is my new UV layout. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Which then also means that there is definitely going to be a change to our Batleth texture. So, what we're going to do... a thought occurs. I mean, Lord knows I don't have the gear, at the very least, to hand draw textures. So I'm gonna be using borrowed textures to begin with. this is what I use to work on textures. MS Paint ahoy, yeah. Honestly, I've been wondering about whether or not I should look for a different art program in general. Did I never save? I might not have. Wait, no, there it is. There is an XCF in here. That's what I need. That's the project. I tried something that was moderately clever, but probably more work than it was worth. Give me a second to switch over. Yeah. This is what I originally did because the UV export was very different the first time around. But now with the new one, it should actually be perfectly fine to like effectively just start over, really. No keyboard shortcuts. That's disappointing. Cause, like, yeah, I get that this is gonna be weird, but PNG offset. This is what our new UV looks like. And the thought that occurred to me was we take this, we rotate this layer, scale layer, okay, merge down, delete. No, it's going to do it to the whole image is the thing. Layer, transform, rotate 90 degrees clockwise. And then we do a movement. For my first act, I'd like to make a motion. So the mad genius in my head is suggesting that what I can do is I can effectively I can select a strip of this that, I mean, the trick is just lining it up. If I don't line it up immaculately, then, well, said, depending on how I do this, it should be relatively easy to not mess that up. Idea being, I Duh, that's the crop tool. Oh. The idea being, if I can get that as close as I can, which is basically right there. And then duplicate layer. Where is it? There is it. Start to move this. Provided we can. As long as we move it precisely over left and match that particularly. That may not look too bad. It may look blaringly obvious, but it may not look too bad. Now for the rampant clusterfuck that is the handles. And whether or not I care about the connecting inside texture. Well, actually, hold on. In theory, that may not be too difficult. In reality, it's probably going to be difficult as hell, but you know. The basic idea would be that you'd want this strip, which really I can roughly emulate that. Very, very roughly. Like, Lord help me, you don't want to know how roughly. Matter of fact, if I'm going to do that, might as well just do something like that. Not immaculate, but serviceable. You stop that. Ah. You are a different size. That tracks, actually. Ah. C triple B. Drop it down. This is probably going to be obvious by the time I get back to it, but hey. It's a method. There we go. Now the other trick is the leather. Because I'm gonna want something that's actually, is that true? Could I get away with doing that? Maybe. Might look a little weird. Interested in seeing what happens, though. Export. What does that look like again? Ah, right. So if instead, for the sake of posterity, I'm going to make that. I'm going to export it. Save this as this. I'm back over in this world. I'm gonna open. Wish me luck. You know, I always do that the first time. That needs to go away. Export. Huh. I mean, if you look at it from 5 miles away, it doesn't look fucked ugly. Where's the real trigger? Is that a lighting thing, or is that a... Oh, there's a way to... Is there not? Huh. I honestly don't know. Ooh. I mean, this looks like the sort of thing that you find on, like... This definitely feels like an indie horror game object. That's... Yeah. That is, in fact, what it reminds me of. Yeah. This is like a bat'leth that you pick up in some survival horror game about a bunch of nerds at a nerd convention. Kind of akin to Night of the Consumer. Sort of thing where, like, sure, my friend would probably appreciate it more if they had a way to have a friend retexture it, but you know, I really wouldn't be that upset with them. I wouldn't be upset with them at all, as a matter of fact. I got the model done and the UV map isn't atrocious. So if they can find somebody that, you know, can do a better job of texturing, by all means, they might actually be able to make this look pretty damn serviceable. But for the sake of it, I wonder. Needs to be done as an FBX. See if I can. I was busy. What's the issue? I'm just pointing out that like my texture looks like the sort of thing you'd see in like an old Counter-Strike resource pack, or like an indie horror game about a bunch of nerds at a convention. Kind of akin to Night of the Consumer style look. I don't know why. I mean, other than the fact that I'm using borrowed textures and not being very like time intensive on it. One thing that is kind of blurry too. Looks like the texture is stretching. Yeah, the texture is stretched. Why is it stretched? Tile it. Tile it. Tiling textures. It sounds like an exclamation that Robin would give to Batman. Tiling textures, Batman. A layer filter. Oh yeah, I'm also not showing off how this looks in Blender presently. I'll explain it. You think there's a layer filter for tiling? Tileable blur. Hmm. Aha. Pile. No, it's perfectly fine. Hmm. Oh, God. I'm gonna go with no on that, but I'll seamless. %70 of art some days is looking for something useful in the filter menu. Boy, howdy, does that bring me back. Huh. Basic idea is you want to get your original square, shrink it down, and repeat it edge to edge. Original square. Like the original texture image itself? Because the original texture is huge. Or at least it was huge when it came in. Okay, it's not as huge as I remember it being. Hmm. You just scale it down to its level of detail. Well, in this case, if I want it to be the level of detail of the blades, okay, at 100 if you turn it at 90. Rotation. This is what I'd want the blades to look like. So do I need this to Do I need this image to cover both of the blade segments here before I do the tiling? Oh, wait a minute though. It's the details. If I instead were to scale this down, totally scale it down to about. Well, scaling down is probably going to be its own problem, huh? I'll do that, but then instead, I select more. The idea is you get the texture so the details look the right size in the model. Yeah, that's too crunched. Like, the image as it stands right now is the original size of the texture itself. So it's probably going to be like as good detail as it can be, because sizing it down is going to make it look weird and sizing it up is going to stretch it. Even it's not necessarily. I just need to duplicate it to cover the whole blade. Duplicate it to cover the whole blade. Easy tiling tool. Getting so much free art advice from my friends. Oh my god. I need to make this up, my friends. Copy the texture layer. I'm going to hope that copy and duplicate mean the same thing in this instance. The scale tool. Okay. Oh. Hello, Fakin. Welcome on in, Fakin and Raiders. I hope you enjoy your time here. You were playing My Time at Sandrock. I've seen that game. I played a little bit of it. I certainly hope you enjoyed your time, and thank you for sharing your community. Welcome on in. My name is Keolahi. I am a variety streamer who tends to play action-adventure games and things of a similar like, but at present I'm doing art because, well, Blender is interesting, and I've been working with it to see how things go. It's pretty good. It's basically more Porsche. Porsche? I'm not sure. Either way. Yeah, my sister plays that game off and on, as a matter of fact, so I imagine that she's probably grabbed Sandrock at some point too. Oh, goodness me. But yeah, I'm doing art because I'm trying to learn Blender, and my friend is very patiently guiding me through the process of texturing. Very graciously and very patiently. Some of these things are just doing UV mapping right now, or maps already. I've done the mapping itself, so now it's just working on the texture itself. And I'm getting a crash course on tiling and related stuff. So where I landed was, they said, get the scale tool. Might be crashing off course. Knowing me, I can sometimes cause that to happen. Not sure scale will do it. You need to flip the image. Flip the image. Ah, it doesn't go negative. I am disappointed. Problem is, if I do image flip, it's not gonna do what we expect it to do, which bugs the hell out of me. Because that's going to flip the whole thing. The layer flip may work to a degree. Hey. Of course, I don't know which flip I actually need. Flip up, down. That'd be vertically? I mean, yeah, I'm using GIMP. I'm too cheap to pay for any of the professional solutions. And slide down to top edge. Yeah, I use it too. Very fair, very fair. The professional options are they're a choice these days, considering some of them are doing some very, shall I say, interesting things with their business models. But hey, as long as professional companies are willing to shell out that money, they'll do it. Huh. You know, that's legit uncanny. Anyway, there are better free options available at this point, but I'm too lazy to switch. Yeah. I was talking earlier about how I should look into new alternatives, because this is also like it's technically GIMP, but it's called Glimpse. Called book matching. Ah, cool. Another term for the night. But yeah, this is technically a different distribution of GIMP, particularly because a group of folks didn't necessarily like the way some of the folks were acting in the original team. And then, predictably, they didn't keep up with new functionality. So I've just kind of been sitting here with this for the foreseeable future. But that's neither here nor there. So that's called book matching, and that's gotten me a texture that's... Whoop! That was stupid. Fixed it. There's a good alternative Adobe options image floating. Oh. Right, I should dig into that some more. Now, I've seen that image here and there, and it's like there's always that thing in the back of my mind. It's like, I should look into that. I should look into that. And then I never do. But having it on hand will probably incentivize me to look into it more readily, as opposed to just continually chancing upon it and being like, oh yeah, now I remember. But I'm already doing this other thing, so... I only recently bothered saving it. Gotcha. All right, so now that we've done this, I don't know if that's necessarily the end, question mark. But, I mean, incrementals. I'll take a look at it and see how... Oh, wait. I keep continuing to do this, and I need to learn to not do this. There we go. Export. And now, let's take a look at the fidget. I mean, considering this is definitely not the end result of my texturing. Hold on. Going to bring us back to this. You can export as, yeah. I have exported it as a different name, so this is the quote-unquote fidget version of my texture. It's presently overlapping the UVs for the handles. I need to work on that after this. Huh. I've had an idea. Can you do the same book matching horizontally? So like if I'm moving the texture to the right, can I do that flip and it kind of work out the same? Because then what I could do here is I could actually just merge down. Probably won't tile as well horizontally. Try. Good idea. Certainly not certainly not the first time that my friend Inastrania's here has said something along the lines of good intuition. Good intuition just needs a little extra work, which honestly I'll take that as a win in this book, because duplicate the layer. And then I do, you know, I can cut out the middleman and just do this. It takes longer, but it's less reliant on my shaky ass wrist. Get on in there and doot. Yeah, I think that's the overlap point. Layer, flip horizontal. I mean, zoomed in, it's blaringly obvious. Zoomed out, it's blaringly obvious too, but hey. Also move your handle UVs onto the leather in Blender. That's true. I could do that. Though I was kind of thinking that, like, well, maybe the leather texture is okay. Maybe it is. This can do island select. Select these, shift them over. I mean, it's kind of bumpy and large, but we're talking Star Trek here. You know, it's Targ leather. Never know what that actually looks like. Out of curiosity, is there any reason you don't overlap your two side UVs? The texture on both sides is the same. Experience primarily. Yeah, like I am certainly not the sort of person that is going to have a 3D model commission queue, because I feel like I would be cheating so many people out of so much money by doing that, because there are so many better 3D model artists out there than me presently. I am very much just learning. But I appreciate where you're coming from. So effectively what you're saying is I could just do this, layer them together, and they would act the same. Yeah. Which, I mean, you know, that is as it is. Then, you know, deselecting, like, So, yeah, all in all, I certainly wasn't expecting this to be a masterpiece, but it is definitely a serviceable piece. Looks pretty cool. Not bad for, you know, just kind of a hobbyist bopping around on Blender for a little bit. I mean, a large amount of the victory here was getting the UV to properly render, using seams and merging some vertices that got out of hand. So, you know, all in all, tonight's been a pretty dang good night. I'm curious to see what happens. However, when I bust out the dreaded U program, next time we can get into baking. I mean, that is a good point. I'm gonna save this. I'm not gonna increment it. I'm gonna save this as it is right now. Do I want to keep the UVs overlapping? It can certainly work. Export the FBX. And then I boot up the dreaded U program. Oh wait, no, I have to do... What was it called? Heck. Is it... There, VR Chat Creator Companion. This thing. Ugh. The things I do for VR Chat. Five months ago, you said. Well, yeah, that tracks. Open the project and pray I don't have to migrate it a third time. God, and to think, on top of all of this, I had to talk with Duffwolf yet about changing up my actual model. Because there's things that I want to add and change, but some of those things are well outside of my wheelhouse right now. So, yeah, here I sit with problems and issues. Rule of thumb on overlapping usually depends on lighting situation. Unity generates lighting UVs on import, I believe. Gotcha. We'll see what happens. I've exported the FBX this way, and I'll import the object and see what happens. There it is. Where am I? Reference and scene? There you are, you little booger. Okay. Because I'm working in a different thing, I'm gonna quick jump us over to, I can find it. Why can't I find it? There we go. Hey look, it's my VR chat model. My custom one at that, as a matter of fact. I drag this in. That left model. Did something go wrong? Something probably went wrong. Oh well. Oh Lord. Yeah, something went horribly wrong. Also, look at this thing. Jesus. That huh. Okay, well on the plus side, if I rotated it, you know. So it wasn't a scale issue, it was a rotate issue. Cool. Though it is also a scale issue. Because Jesus Christ. But on top of that, we have an issue of a couple of other things, really. What did I do? What did I do and how do I fix it? UV. No. Back. Export. FBX. Huh. I'm gonna try that and hope. No, that doesn't seem to have done much for me anyway. Atlas model. No, it's kind of the same thing no matter what. Huh. Interesting. Delete. Deleted. Huh. Oh. Pull the cell phone. I mean, the thing is enormous. That's what she said. There are certainly things here that did not need to be included. That is probably a future lesson. There we go. Don't need this. Don't need that. This object is enormous, for starters. Scale. Zoop. Look at that. Look at you. Oh, you're a ways away, aren't you? Hey, you're a ways away, aren't you? Respectfully, I'd like you to get a little closer. Zoop. Oh, wow. Actually, a pretty good job scaling it, didn't I? Whoomp. Zoop. Whoomp. Huh. Yeah, it's about the breadth of a Batleth. That said, given the default hold position, it's certainly going to clip into one's body. Also, those handles are unwieldy, to put it kindly. Wait, if I made this an order of magnitude bigger, logic would denote that I'd want to scale it an order of magnitude smaller. One would think. I mean, if the maths. Of course, if we... God, even defaulting it to the outside edge, it's still gonna poke me in the hip. Funny. But hey, this is what it looks like in Unity. Ooh. I like the light play on that. Nifty. That said, if I undo movement, that's probably gonna look weird, but let's take a look at this. Look at this boy. Scale 0.1 across the board. A Tale of Two Batleths. Kapla. God. Hang on, I feel like being silly. I feel like being silly, so I'm gonna be silly for a second. I can find my friend. It just takes me a second to stare at pictures before I'm like, oh yeah, that's that. I got new wings. They're kind of weird and sharp, and I can't fly well with them, but all right. Considering the timing, though, we are kind of running up on the end of the stream time. But yeah, next time we can get into baking and maybe next time. There is that thought that I kind of want to try to redo the staff model at some point too. Just because now I know a bit more about particulars and such. And I'm getting more of a command on how to do things like seams and where I'd want to put a seam on an object. That definitely helps out a lot. Alongside the clever tricks of merging close vertices when you have weird topology going on. As for these two Batleths, I don't know. Seems to me like one with overlap kind of feels like it's behaving more. is like trying to compare them. Something seems kind of strange with the non-overlapped. Hope yours going better than mine. Took out my tablet and pen, was dead. No loss. Oh no. I mean, I don't have a tablet and pen, which I probably, if I wanted to get more and more serious with this, I probably should get just for the more direct translation that comes with having a tablet and pen, because drawing with a mouse is a pain that I would not wish on my worst enemy. However, modeling with a mouse isn't as bad, because by and large you aren't like drawing freehand pathing when you're modeling. You're more like grabbing a vertex and moving it on an axis, so you can just kind of fiddle with it a little bit until you get it where you want it to be and then let it go. You know, it's like messing with Mario's face at the beginning of Super Mario 64. You just kind of grab his nose in a circle until you're done having fun and let go and listen to the spring. Only in the case of the model, it doesn't spring, it just kind of stays where you put it. That said, I will not be I will not be saving the changes that I made to this model, to this project, because no. And for the sake of it and having something on screen for a quick second, we're gonna go back to Blender, where you can see the Batleth model on its own, which, all things considered, I don't think that's a bad model. I think that's a pretty good model. It is looking pretty sassy. I appreciate the compliments. A large portion of this is, like I said, like when it comes to the texture itself, it's all Creative Commons stuff, because I sure as hell was not going to have the patience and alacrity to make a metal texture and a leather texture by hand. And, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of tricks that go into a lot of that stuff, and including brushes that people look for. So, you know, it's something to look into in the future, but having at least something to slap on there kind of helps out for the sake of looking at how it's going to look. Speaking of, I should show you like the progress we made today. If I can find a way to do that. Photo texture is Half-Life chic. Yes, that's it. That's what I've been trying to think about this whole time. It's like, yeah, it's really Half-Life. Really Half-Life, like, I suppose I kind of mentioned that with like Counter-Strike and the sort, but yeah. That's where this is tripping the familiarity. All right. I think quick save this for posterity's sake. So to show the progress we made. Yeah. Where we last left off was this model. And yeah, just looking at this as an example of what the textures were doing before. That's royally fucked up, yo. And like looking at how the islands looked, again, royally fucked up. I go back to where we were. Don't save changes. And I, you know, just for the moment, we load up that same texture check. Gee, that looks very different. We made a lot of progress today. So, you know, I'm happy with that. Cancel that, revert to saved. I'm actually kind of curious as well. Open this. Go back to Bat'leth Model 7. Just for the sake of seeing what it would do. Oh god. Oh god. That is some ugly as sin UVing. Those textures, that blur. Oh lord. Anyway. I think that's enough fooling around for now. Don't save those changes. And we're gonna come back here. Alright, everybody. Give me a second to close some stuff down. And we should be good to go soon here. Alright. Well, thank you everybody for joining me in the adventure for the evening. I certainly hope you've enjoyed your time, and as always, if you have, don't forget to follow along and spread the word. I just hope to grow the community, and I certainly hope it's been fun to watch me, well, take some art lessons and actually learn some things from close friends. I am on Twitter. I save my VODs to YouTube for safekeeping. I have a Discord server, and I'm on a host of social medias. Links to those are in the bio under the stream, as well as my wonderfully done social command, which nets you everything everywhere all at once. And finally, to those who chat, I appreciate you. To those who lurk, I appreciate you. To those who watch the VODs, I appreciate you. And I certainly hope that I can see you here live someday should the opportunity ever arise. Now with that, let's find our raid target for the evening and make sure our list is up to date as per usual. What have we got on the list for our Sunday nights? Ooh, huh. Kind of a shorter list than usual. Oh, you know, I think Anthrocon is going on right now. That would explain part of it. Gar's doing Phasmophobia. Could always go visit Gar. I have a thing for Phasmo, despite the fact that I don't get to play it as often as I'd like to, because I ain't playing it alone, because I'm a scaredy cat. And, well, you know, collaboration and scheduling is always a fun time for everyone involved. So I don't bemoan folks having a schedule and a life, because Lord knows I do too, for the most part. Who else we got on the list? Demibun is doing Conrad Stevenson's Paranormal PI. I feel like I should recognize that name somewhere. We've got somebody doing Zenless Zone Zero. Always love alliterative game titles. What else we got? Well, kind of don't have a lot beyond that, so I think we might actually just go yeah, let's visit Gar. The alternative is I was either going to choose Gar or Demi. Let's go see Gar. Hang on. First, here is a raid message for the evening. Feel free to copy it up and paste it down. Just make your way over to Gar, also known as Gar Blue Moon. Make sure I get that name right. Yeah. Wonderfully, apparently, according to his tags, wholesomely unhinged. And, I appreciate that title. But yeah, playing Phasmophobia with, at least one other person, it looks like. So, all things considered, I think we are ready to adjourn for the evening. The doors are open, the portal is shining in the distance, and I'll say to you all once more, be you denizens, be you hunters, be you visitors, thank you for joining me here again in Daemonum Arena. Well, let's go greet another, shall we? Take care out there, and try to be a light in the darkness when you can be.